Do you know what email validation is? I'm going to tell you, and I'm also going to tell you how it works. Email validation is basically the idea that we're going to go through your email addresses and make sure that every address on your bulk email list is a legitimate address. And I want to tell you why that's important, but first, let me explain what's going on here. Email validation, it's a service that's going to check for things like typos on your email. I don't know if you've done this, but I certainly have at some point over the years. You type in an incorrect address when you're signing up for a newsletter. Most commonly, these newsletters come with small little GIFs, and it's really the GIF that you would like to have. But anyhow, you enter your email address, you send it off, and it's the wrong address. You typed it in wrong. Now, sometimes folks are tire kickers. They're not actually interested in your email or being on your list, so they'll give you an email address that they never open. It's a special address that is only for junk email. An email validation service can look in the box and determine that that's the case and mark that as a bad address. How do they do that? Well, they look in the box, and if nothing's been read, obviously that's not really an address you're interested in. They also can look for bad addresses. Now, a bad address might be something like having a full email box. Obviously, if the box is full, they're not really using it. Or the box is not present. I'll give you an example. I used to be with a major U.S. cable television provider, and I didn't want these guys. I wanted nothing to do with them. And this is personal, I think of these big cable companies as actually evil entities who are harming the nation. These validation companies will also look for spam traps and catch-all addresses. Basically, what they're going to do is go through your email list and try to get rid of all the bad addresses so everything that is left is good. Why do you want this? What is this to you? Well, let's say we've got Company A and Company B. They send out the exact same email newsletter, the same everything. Both have exactly 1,000 addresses. Company A puts their emails through the validation service. Company B bought their email addresses off the internet. They both send out 1,000 emails. Company A, though, only has 600 valid email addresses. Company B sends out all 1,000. Now, you would assume Company B, having the bigger list, is going to have a better response. They'll have more people just because they sent out more emails. That's not true at all. Let me tell you what happens. Company A only sent out 600 emails, but all of theirs got through to the inbox. Why? The service providers like Gmail and AOL and Yahoo, so forth, Yandex, they all look at the reputation of the sender. And what they're doing is, let's say 100 of these emails came to our service, Yandex, and we find out that out of that 100, you had 20 unsubscribes, you had 3 actual abuse complaints. And almost nobody opened it. It wasn't something they were looking for. So Yandex is going to say, this guy has a bad reputation. Next time, they'll automatically send most of your emails right into the spam box, and you don't have a choice. Your emails are never really seen. Now, the A email sender, all of his got to the email box because people went to his website, they signed up for the email, and they pushed the button saying, please subscribe me. So we know they wanted to receive those emails. Provider A has a smaller list with 600 addresses. Provider B has 1,000 addresses, and they're all going to the spam box. Now, this gets worse. The reality is, Provider B probably is going to get something called internal bounces, and I've had trouble with this at different times. You see, if you're on one of these big companies and they have the nice templates and so forth, actually, the people who are on the server with you determine what your reputation's going to be. So if there's some spammer and they happen to be on the same server inside the email company that you're on, they're actually going to trash your reputation. The email reputation goes with the server, not with the individual company inside that address. So everything coming from youremailcompany.com can get trashed. One time I was with a company and, over half of our addresses were getting what is called internal bounces. In other words, we were blacklisted. And once you're on the blacklist, you're there for about 30 days or so, and there's no way off of it. So everything that you would send to, for example, AOL.com immediately gets an internal bounce, even if it's from your personal address directly to one of your customers. If it goes through that server, it's immediately going to get bounced for the next 30 days. Not a good thing. Okay, I'll close this out. What email company do I use? It's called Email Hippo, emailhippo.com. And you can certainly give them a try. These things tend to be not very expensive. For, $40-50. You can have your addresses washed of 6,000-7,000 customers. It's well worth doing. They can get as many as 40% of your emails can be found to be bad. And you'll get a full report. By the way, full disclosure, I have no financial relationship with these guys. This really isn't some kind of recommendation where I want you to go use them. Anyhow, that's it for email validation. As always, if you have any questions at all, I hope you'll go ahead and drop me a note. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.